Ear. Welcome back to another episode of We Are Not the Same
Back at
podcast.
it again.
Back at it again.
Title to be determined again.
We're almost at episode 20, which is kind of crazy to think about. We've been doing this for 20 weeks, which is a long time almost.
14 is my lucky number.
Yeah, I think this is next to episode will be 14. I'll lose count. I just sit here and record them. Anyways.
I just kind of show up.
Yeah,
so it's good.
Exactly. I think the first thing I wanted to
put an hour of my time.
Sometimes it goes longer.
No, yeah, for sure. For the audience, sometimes we just go. Like what you guys hear is nothing in compared to the grand total. Yeah, it's just insane.
But probably the thing that's most prevalent on everyone's timelines right now is like the invading of Ukraine and Russia. Just like if you're not hip, you're probably living under a rock. The only thing I really wanted to say is that I really feel like the kids who saw, not kids, or like adults or teenagers who saw like the Vietnam and the Korean War and the like People's magazines, the Time magazines. I can't remember which one off the top of my head it was, but they like published like videos and photos of it, and the public saw it. Like that's the shit we're seeing on Reddit and Twitter. Like it's just insane to me that.
Bro, I've been seeing it on TikTok. It's so wild seeing our generation, like dudes who are literally our age, out.
It's wild.
They're standing on the Romanian border, waiting for Russia, just waiting. Like I literally saw a TikTok that it's a dude. He's on top of a building and he's like filming his platoon, and literally the title is "We're in a real pregame lobby." I said, I really swiped out of TikTok. I was like,
wild.
You did not just call Romania
pregame lobby.
The pregame lobby. But the wild part is that the new COD, Warzone, Verdansk or whatever, that's based off a real place in the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I saw a TikTok where it cuts back and forth through like the similarities in the buildings and stuff. And I'm like, yo, you can.
That's wild.
I was like, dude, you cannot be letting our generation out there. Like, you guys got to bump up the age limit for the draft now. Because you cannot be bringing these 18-year-olds out there.
Yeah, no, 100%. I see, I don't really see any of that. I see it on Reddit, so I've seen a lot of like people on the front lines of like, I just saw like a firefight but on an intersection this morning, and like a tank got blown up. And
yeah,
like
fuck
even
Russia.
Like the president, even like the president in Ukraine and everything.
He's a badass.
Mm-hmm.
He's a badass.
A lot of the people are joining with a big morale boost. Yeah, just take a moment of silence, think about it, get yourself educated on the situation because it might potentially turn into something bigger. Because like Switzerland and a whole bunch of other countries Finland. That weren't in Finland are joining NATO now that weren't part of it because they're scared of Russia's regime essentially.
And Russia actually openly threatened them and said that if Finland and Sweden had joined NATO, that they were going to be next. They were going to be next to be hit by an invasion. But the thing is that the Swedish army is actually really fucking good. Mm-hmm. It's like really good.
So far, the Ukraine army has been pretty good too.
I read actually on Reddit a Reddit article that that Russia right now are like their soldiers are so demoralized by how much the Ukraine is standing up to them that like some soldiers are literally just dropping weapons. Like they're just giving up. Like once they're cornered by like 2 or 3 Ukrainian soldiers, they're like, all right, that's it. And they just give up.
And not only that, but like I'm pretty sure Russia has like a forced military service on the people, so half of them don't even want to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
Half of them hate living in Russia anyways.
Yeah. It's crazy living in Russia. I bet like they're protesting and everything right now, and like it's wild. Obviously we can't see minute for minute what's happening during the protests and stuff like that, but it's Russia. So obviously you can kind of make some assumptions that the police are there, either stomping out any kind of uprising or riots or anything like that, or they're probably arresting press. Arresting press is like number one target for military states like that, because the press is the only ones who like really minute by minute can get out real-time information. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to control real-time information when it's just being pumped out on a live feed, like on Twitter, news stations.
It's wild. Like we have full technology. The technology we have now is potentially a war on the front lines, and we're capturing it.
Yeah, it's so wild.
It's crazy. Never thought as COVID was going down that we'd be going into a world war, but I guess here we are. But to lighten the news a little bit, to talk about Kanye again, and I really don't want to talk about Kanye anymore after this. This is my last time bringing up a topic about it for us to talk about. He's releasing Donda 2.
I did see that. At some point, yeah. He was supposed to release it the other day, wasn't he?
But yeah, I honestly stopped following him.
I think
I'm over it.
Oh, it was
I can't do this anymore.
5 days ago he was gonna release it on 2/22/2022.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And but apparently, if he was gonna drop it, it would be only on his stem player, as to where people could download it.
That's such bullshit, dude.
Which is so stupid. I mean, the stem player is a cool device because you can like change the sounds of things and stuff like that. But like, come on.
But why make it only exclusive for your player? I mean, and he's done this before. Because remember, what is it, Tidal? Tidal he owns.
That's Jay-Z.
Was that Jay-Z?
Jay-Z put his stuff only on Tidal.
Yeah, that's what it was. He put his stuff only on Tidal. So it's not like Kanye's like Kanye's not like the first artist to do this, but it is kind of just fucked up because the stem player by itself is like $200. Like it's pretty expensive. It's pretty much like buying.
I only know one person who has it, like an actual.
Do you know someone with a stem player? I've never met anyone with a stem player. Can you name him?
We both know him very well.
Oh yeah, who is he?
I lived with him.
Okay,
that's all I'm gonna say.
you can say his name. He's one of our brothers.
Well, I mean, it's Preston. So.
Oh, Preston owns a stem player?
Yeah, of course he does. He's the biggest Kanye fan I know.
That's true. Actually, Upson is the biggest Kanye fan I know.
Well, like through all the bullshit, I don't know if Upson still like truly follows and listens to Kanye like that anymore. He still might 100%. Yeah, I just haven't really heard him or seen him share stuff about Kanye.
That's true. Preston
has, but that's just off of my insight. But yeah, that's just wild to me. Kanye's crazy, and it's gonna go down a big hole.
It's like
hold on, real quick. Last thing is I saw like GoFundMe to raise money to send Produced by Zay over to Ukraine. He's been commenting on Kim K's Instagram photos. Forever Kim Ye. He's just been posting that over and over again. So people are like, get him out of here.
If we need some kind of cyber destruction or bullying, then we can send Kanye over there to cyber bully Vladimir Putin.
Literally.
It's so wild seeing Kanye unfold like this with like his like insanely expensive like live performances now down in ATL and stuff like that. And
he threw the mic.
Yeah, when he throws the mic and shit like that, and he comes like 2 hours late to the start of the concert, and during the concert he just sits there, doesn't actually perform, but there's just music playing. It's like, bro, you could do that anywhere. But it's like low-key watching the Kanye documentary, Genius, on Netflix. They've only released 2 episodes. I think there's 5 total. They've released 2 episodes, and it's basically like tracks him between the years of 2001 and like 2004, when he wins the Grammy and stuff like that for College Dropout. It's a good chunk of time in those 2 episodes. I'd say it's more like 3 years, but still, anyway. But to see just the absolute changing of Kanye and him as a person is just so wild, because in the beginning, he's very much the whole time like, I'm doing this because I'm from Chi-Town. Like, I'm doing this for the people. Nobody knows that Chi-Town has these rappers. Like, me and Chi-Town, we go hard. Like, this is for everybody. Blah. Really like a people's man. Really making music like, and his music's so true to himself. Like, College Dropout is just his experiences, which is great music. Obviously, it's great music. And then now it's like, I don't want to say anything about Donda and Donda 2 because it's an album inspired by his dead mom. So I don't really want to talk negatively about the albums, but I do want to talk negatively about his like marketing schemes when it comes to all of this, and like what it seems like kind of I don't want to like call him a sellout per se, but it seems like it's mainly just for the money at this point. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, 100%.
It's like and that in my opinion, that's like the definition of someone who sells out is that you flip because you know you're making this insane amount of money and you know people are going to buy these things for you from you even if it's good, bad, terrible, like some of his clothes is not that great. It's just like you can make that shit yourself at home.
I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, that's literally it. You're paying for the brand. You know what I mean? And a lot of brands do that. Just like Nike and Under Armour, they'll upcharge and stuff like that. Like we know.
I mean, shit, bro. Some Vans
yeah,
shoes now cost $70.
yeah, which is a huge
like
uptick
a pair
because
of slip-ons is $70.
yeah, which is a huge
bro,
uptick.
why?
Which is actually a huge uptick for Vans. It doesn't really sound like that much in the grand scheme, but for Vans was made to be a cost affordable shoe. Like that was the whole purpose to make Vans is that it's a price affordable shoe. And I saw like some MTEs now are going for like 140. And I remember back when like 2-3 years ago, MTEs never went over 120.
Mm-mm. Yeah, we have a few MTEs that are like 130, and then we have this huge snow boot that's 250.
Is that the snow boot that's like specifically for snowboarding?
Yeah, it's like the one where you like twist this things in, and it's like goes up mid calf kind of thing. So it's a straight snowboarding boot. So that might be the regular price for a snowboarding boot.
That one I can understand for sure because I don't really know anything about snowboarding either. But yeah, it's so wild. If you haven't watched the Genius documentary, I would definitely recommend it. It's long though. The episodes are like an hour and a half each. But I gotta say, it's really like it's inspiring. I gotta say to watch, and it's insane watching an album like that, The College Dropout, who's inspired so many people in our generation that, and just like watching it be made, watching Kanye's kind of career just shoot off.
Yeah, 100%.
Like not overnight, obviously, over the course of a few years, but yeah, just to watch his transition, it's so wild.
Not bad it is. I know a Jay-Z documentary.
Dude, if there's a Jay-Z documentary, they're gonna put it out, I'd watch it.
I watched it 100%. The WuTang show was amazing. But speaking in things getting released, two things actually. New season of Snowfall came out this week. Great, amazing. Go watch it when you can. If you haven't watched any Snowfall yet, I would highly recommend it. It's like many other. It's kind of like other shows like The Wire, things like that. Kind of the same vibe as Peaky Blinders. So if you fuck with those shows, definitely go watch it American Gangster Style. It's a great show. But I've been playing Elden Ring because, as you guys see, there's no more stove or fridge behind the window.
For the audio listeners, there's no stove or fridge behind him.
Yeah, literally.
It's just a blank wall and a window.
But it looks so much better. Soon I'll have an L-shaped desk turned around.
Dude, you should put the Jason Tatum poster up there.
Well, I'm gonna completely turn this because I just have my desk in here right now. I'm gonna completely turn this around and put like an L-shaped desk against a wall, so I have this like actual backdrop right here to put my shit up instead of a wall with a window behind me. And it's easier for lighting too, honestly. Gotcha. If it's a bright sunny day, I could just open the window.
Which corner are you gonna take? You're gonna take that back right corner?
No, I'm taking the corner I'm in now.
Oh, just so, like, right next to you.
Yeah, I'm literally just gonna be turning my desk around.
Gotcha.
This will be interesting, but it's gonna save space. Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of, you were talking about you touched a little bit on WuTang. Throw us back off topic, I guess. Remember the first episode we're talking the prologue, the inspiration behind the podcast? I feel like we never really touched on the real like background like inspiration of the podcast was the WuTang saga, and watching how I don't even know if that came across on Discord.
I did.
Okay.
I think
because remember we were watching. I think the idea first brewed to us while we were watching the WuTang saga.
Yeah, I mean, 100%, but
and watching them go through it, and that shit is inspirational. Even though they were drug dealers and stuff like that, but that shit is inspirational.
I mean, most of the people we follow came from hard beginnings. But no, I think that's a big point of it. And then also, I was just a huge into podcasts at the same time. Like I was watching the Mallory Bros, the JJ Redick podcast, Through the Wire, all the ones I still listen to and watch now. But so I was listening to those, and I was like, hell yeah, let's get it started when we were watching it. But weren't able to get it started until recently because fuck school.
Yeah,
That's all I got
fuck
to say.
school. Speaking of college dropout, drop out of college.
don't
No,
don't do it
don't.
if you're
Yeah,
already
don't.
there.
Don't jump
Finish.
out.
Just finish.
If you like college, just stay.
Yeah, but yeah. So I moved, and then I had a huge project at work, and I finished it. So I got Elden Ring this past week, and God, it's so much fun. If no one knows what Elden Ring is, it is like RPG. It's not really a role playing game, but it's open world now, and it's kind of like an action game, fantasy. If anyone's played Dark Souls or anyone knows what those kind
Yeah,
of
Dark
Dark Souls games
Soul-esque.
are,
Which
it's like that.
I think Dark Souls is technically categorized as an RPG.
I think so. I don't know that exact term for it, but it's kind of one of those games where you don't really get a mission or an objective. It's just kind of like you pay attention to dialogue and you go where you want to. Very challenging game, but it's been super super fun.
I've heard the bosses and even the mini bosses are like kind of hard.
First thing, so like you intro, like you do a little intro stuff. You walk around and then you take this corner into this graveyard, and this big ass monster drops down from the sky and kills you. I don't think you can beat it. I don't think you can beat it. I think it's supposed to kill you no matter what, right? Because after you,
what? So is it an insta kill?
Almost. It killed me in like one hit, maybe two. But keep listening.
Jeez.
So it kills you, right? And then you die, and then you go to the land between ashes or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you die, and you get this special cutscene with this girl, and then you get revived, and you go into what the land of the Elden Ring is, and so you spawn in, you touch the campfire. They're called last graces this time. For people who don't know, campfires like you can restore your HP. These things called flasks that restore your HP and fight and stuff like that. So you get that grace, and then you walk into the town. And guarding the town is this big ass boss called the Tree Sentinel. And I took like an hour trying to fight it, and I got my ass whooped every time. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go around him." And then I found the church of where I was supposed to be, got a cutscene. When they fought all these soldier dudes and cleared this camp, got another one. And then I watched a YouTube video while I was at work. They're like, yeah, you can just run past all these guys and go downstairs. And I was like, what the fuck?
That is one good thing about the Dark Souls games is that because there's like it's not really mission based, you can literally just run past everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could just
done if you need to.
Yeah, you could just literally like parry and just roll away from everything.
Parrying, I'm so bad. I haven't played a Dark Souls game since high school, man. It's not a fun time for me.
Yeah, they're the kind of games where parrying takes like real skill. It's not like Assassin's Creed where all you have to do is wait for them to like right about to hit you.
Yeah, literally just hold this bitch. Yeah, it was so funny because I was talking to Alexa and I was like, damn, should I get this game? Like, I'm gonna get very angry and probably never played the game before. And she was like,
very angry.
But she was like, but you play 2K though. And I was like, well, what you mean by that? And she goes, I've seen you literally quit mid-game 2K, go to bed, wake up, and play 2K the next morning, Alan. And I was like, fair, I'm getting it.
That's a good point. You know, I could say I've been guilty of doing that as well. Just literally pausing, putting the controller down, walk away, come back, pick it up, try, rage quit, go to bed, wake up, try again.
Try again. 100%. You
but then somehow when you wake up in the morning, you're just like so much better. You're like, oh, I could easily do this now.
It's also, you're probably not like 3 dabs deep or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's also true. You probably have like, you probably have some sense of cognability again.
You know, off topic, but I got a fucking paper cut right on the tip of my like thumbprint, if that makes sense, like right in the center of my thumb. So anytime I like touch anything, I like press it down. That shit just like that is so annoying.
I have paper cuts on both my thumbs, and then my pointer finger, like the same spot you had on your thumb, I have on my pointer finger.
Yeah, shit's so annoying.
Yeah. But is it from cutting open the boxes?
Yeah, I went to go grab like 2 boxes and then like slipped and cut my hand.
Yeah, that shit was what always would get me is you know how like when you pop the box tops and it has like the rigid edge, Sometimes, every so often, I would forget that the rigid edge was there, and I'd go and tear, and then I'd bring my hand down, like down the rigid edge, and it'd fucking just cut me. I'd be like, fuck me.
Facts. It's so annoying. The worst, it still's not as bad as like literal knife cuts when working at the shack, cutting up limes and shit like that.
Oh man, and you have this citrus straight into your bloodstream.
Yeah, that was never a good time. Never a good time.
That's like that kind of stuff makes you want to like rage quit in real life. Rage quit in real life.
Oh no, 100%, 100%. It was so annoying.
You just gotta
wash my hands.
Put everything down. You're like, you know, I actually did that the other day at work. Literally, the winds here, because we live in the valley, are fucking insane. Like, we had a wind advisory. They were blowing like 40, 50 miles an hour.
Damn.
Yeah, casually on a Friday afternoon. The wind chose violence. And I'm sitting there at work. Last episode, we joked that I was sick and I didn't have COVID. It turns out I actually did have, after the episode, after the recording of the episode, like 2 hours later, I took it out, COVID tested, I have COVID. I'm better now, though.
Did you hear a funny story about that moment?
My god, dude. It's so fucking whack because I dodged it for so fucking long. And I found the perpetrator.
Who?
It's my coworker, dude. The admin who sits right behind me. She got me sick, dude, because we literally share an office space.
Oh, yeah.
In a fucking trailer. The trailer is only 50 feet long. And me and her are there every single day together. She fucking got me sick.
That's wild.
I was tilted.
So it was so funny. So like after I got off the call with you and you told me that you tested positive for COVID and everything, I was sitting out on the couch like ate some wings or whatever. Like I ate and I had the itis and I was just like blank space thinking. And I was like, for some reason I was like, damn, Adam got COVID. And I was like, in my head I was like, damn, we were just hanging out. I was like, but then I was like, wait. We were on Discord. I'm cool though.
Yeah. Wait, I swear I was just with him. Wasn't he just here?
Literally, bro. I was like, I gotta chill. I gotta go to sleep.
Dude, sometimes my blurring of time is so ridiculous because you remember you and Alexa came last week of January?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, that was a month ago to this day. Yeah, and like the other day in my head, for some reason, I was also thinking like that was like last week. I was like, because we ran out of stuff here and I was just like, how did we run out? Alan was just here last week. Like what? And then I like look at the day, I'm like, oh no, that was a cool month ago.
Yeah, that was a brick ago.
Like that was not last week, but it just like, it flies, dude. Time flies. Because it
really does.
That was 4 episodes ago. That was a whole literal month ago that we watched the Celtics. Dude, what's so funny? I literally saw a TikTok yesterday of these kids walking on the street in DC, and guess who they fucking see?
Who?
Jason Tatum. Walking into a Subway.
What?
Yes, dude.
Subway? Like the Subway or
like
a Subway?
No, like Subway sandwich, like the sandwiches.
Oh, because like, he probably gets free subs.
Yeah, probably. No, I mean, I'm not talking shit about Subway. Like I eat Subway.
So I was just confused on what Subway you meant.
Yeah. No, like real, like the Subway sandwich shop.
Jared from Subway.
These, okay. Interesting path. Of all the people you could have chosen.
I have to bring up a bit after this.
Okay.
I saw on TikTok. Keep going though. That's hilarious. We were trying to do the same thing.
These kids, they're just walking on the street. The TikTok starts, and they're dapping Jason Tatum up. That's like how the TikTok starts. Is that they're dapping Jason Tatum up, and they're all wearing masks, and he's not wearing a mask, but he goes into the shop, and on the way, he like, you know, he's like outside of the door. He's like locking his car. And he drives a Porsche. So like he's like outside and he's like locking his car, and it's street parking obviously because he's in DC. So he's like locks the car, and the 2 kids dap him up, and then one of the other kids is like leaning to the other kid who's filming. He's like, "Wait, is that?" And then after they finish dapping him up, they're like, "Dog, that was Jason Tatum." And then they started freaking out afterwards. They're like, I knew it. And like, yeah, like what are the odds, right? That he's just at a like random ass subway in DC.
I mean, he was craving some Subway.
Yeah, and like that video was probably old. Like that video was probably taken when we saw them live. Yeah, which is so wild.
That could be us. The bit I wanted to bring up is I was scrolling on TikTok. I love TikTok, Instagram Reels, and it was like, because for some reason I get stand up on my TikTok Reels, but honestly, it's usually hilarious, so I'm okay with it. But he brought up Jared from Subway, right? And he was like, do you know? He was like, Jared from Subway. He's like, oh yeah, the pedophile. And he goes, do you know how many subs you have to eat for pedophile to still be number 2? He's still Jared from Subway, and he went to whole ass prison.
Yeah.
So how many? He just kept going on a rant. He was like, that's a lot of subs for pedophile to be number 2 on the list. I was like, that's a really good point. Like,
yeah, because nobody ever says, oh, you know, Jared the pedophile. It's Jared from Subway, the pedophile. Okay, that's the series. Those are his title. That's his title card when he hands out business cards.
Facts. It's like when a king comes out, like
Jared from Subway, the pedophile.
Jared from Subway, the pedophile.
That man's is never getting out of jail.
No.
And nor should he.
No, he's an awful man.
Yeah, he's an awful guy. Fuck Jared from Subway.
With that good laugh, I think we're gonna head to the sports section of the pod for the people who don't really listen to sports. It was good having you. If you want to listen to some sports news, it's not that much, but it's some good stuff.
It is some good. It's some historical stuff, actually.
Yeah, I really wanted to start off with DeMar DeRozan being 7 games in a row, 35 points. I think he
hit 8 actually.
Oh, he hit 8.
He hit 8. Yeah.
35. Did he get 35 again last night against the Grizzlies? He lost.
He did lose. I don't think he hit 35 though.
Let's see. I'm about to look it up. Desmond Bane was locking him up on game. I was watching it with our homie.
Desmond Bane is a lockdown defender. He's a really good defender. If I got to give him anything else, his offense isn't that consistent, but he's honestly he could make
31.
Ooh, so close. Honestly, I think Desmond Bane can make second team all defensive.
No, but also like I didn't want to say this to our homie Bam and his other homie. They're starting. Do you want to know who they're starting point guard and small forward for the Bulls right now?
Did Ja get injured? Is that the game he hurt his leg? Back. Oh, okay.
No, this was literally last night.
Oh, okay.
It's Ayo Dosunmu as their point guard and Javonte Green's their small forward. Now, don't get me wrong. Ayo Dosunmu is a great rookie.
Javonte Green was on the Celtics for a little bit.
He can. He's not a hooper, but he can play basketball. He's a good player, right? But they don't have Alex Caruso or Lonzo Ball. I bet you
both injured
that Ja Morant does not drop 46 points if Alex Caruso or Lonzo Ball's there. No matter.
Well, yeah, because they're real. They're real defenders. They're real defenders. Yeah, Lonzo and
get by people, but he's not dropping 46 on. He's not dropping almost 50 of Lonzo.
Yeah, Lonzo's first team all defense, dude. Yeah, Lonzo's first team all defense. He's a lockup defender.
One or the other there, he's not dropping 46. Both of those dudes are elite defenders in the point guard position.
Yeah. I mean,
crazy to me.
When you gotta take advantage of the mismatch. He did a good job.
Got 21 rebounds. That's what's gonna kill the Bulls in the playoffs, man.
Rebounding.
The Bulls don't have anybody to guard a big man.
They have Vucevic, don't they?
His defense is ass. Honestly,
he's a slower big man.
I don't want to see Joel Embiid on Vucevic, or is Vucevic on Joel Embiid for 7 games in series? Who's gonna guard Giannis? DeMar for 7 games? Giannis is averaging, and then they have 60.
They have Andre Drummond as well.
Yeah, literally. Like even that.
Who's been eating
those
too?
2 teams. Like I think the best matchup for the Heat would be for the Bulls would be the Heat round 1.
Yeah, with because they got Lowry, they got Butler.
Oladipo might be there.
Oladipo is actually they said that he was actually supposed to come back next week. They said there was a high possibility of him playing. He played a few G League games the week that just passed. I actually scooped up Oladipo on my fantasy.
Hey,
I had to because I've been keeping up with him since February started because I saw I saw in an ESPN post that there were talks of him maybe coming back after the All-Star break. So I was like, oh, bet during the All-Star weekend, I'm gonna scoop him up. And he was there, and unfortunately, I had to drop D Rose because D Rose might need to get surgery because he's out right now. But
he might be out for the season.
It's a touch and go with D Rose. They say he might be able to come back, but he's being evaluated.
4 to 6 weeks. The last report, I thought.
Yeah, that was a little bit ago though. That was before the All-Star break. So, and it's like, dude, fucking Zion, dude. If you had Zion on your fantasy team, sorry, dude's not playing. He's not playing this season.
He also doesn't want to be anywhere. I don't even want to talk about Zion. That's
so he also we what's the name of the podcast? Old Man in the Three. You're talking about JJ Redick's podcast, and he talks about Zion Williams in an episode of his podcast and openly on TV on SportsCenter. Talks about how Zion's more of a detached player, not a hands-on.
Give the ball to Brandon Ingram.
Well,
make it Brandon Ingram's team.
Just make it Brandon Ingram's team. He's literally honestly Brandon Hooper. Ingram. Yeah, Brandon Ingram for one is a hooper. 2, he's actually plays defense. He's a pretty good defender. 3,
he's a better all-around player.
3, he's just an all-around player. He's essentially just like he's low-key like a blooming Kevin Durant. Kind of the same build. KD. Yeah, baby KD. He's same build, same play style. Just like literally give Brandon Ingram
same
3 more years.
Beard goatee thing.
But Zion was reevaluated, and he might have to get a second foot surgery.
Dude, until Zion steps foot on a basketball court, I will not bring up his name in this podcast.
I just want to see him play a full season.
Literally.
I don't even want to. I just want a season.
Half a season, bro. Give me something.
I think
don't care at this point.
The one season he did play, he only played like 20 games or something like that, like 25 games.
Literally the Greg Oden of this year.
Tragic. So tragic.
Is he not?
No, he is. No, he is. I'm not doubting it.
He has
not denying it. I'm just
talent, and everybody around the league knows what talent he has, but he can't stay healthy. And that's it.
It sucks, man. And health kills players, man. It sucks. Same thing happened with D Rose.
No, I mean that's just one major injury, though. There's a difference between one major injury and multiple injuries throughout your career.
That's
true.
What I'm saying? Yeah, speaking of health, fucking Ben Simmons. We did talk about it a little bit this last week. Dude, fucking Ben Simmons. I fucking hate him.
It gets me so angry. Bro needs to recondition his body for basketball. Bro, what you been doing all summer?
Literally.
But I did some more research. And in his initial statement on why he was mad at Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid, it's not for the blame. But one, they blamed everything on him. And he's like, I didn't do that when we lost 2 years in a row to the Celtics, to Joel Embiid for playing poorly. Whatever, Ben. Who cares? That's the past. But he straight up said, I'm sad because they didn't come visit me at the gym while I was working out. So clearly you weren't working out.
Yeah, what?
You clearly weren't doing nothing in the gym besides taking photos and saying that you were in the gym.
Yeah, what? This ain't fucking... She ain't for social media, stupid.
I mean, KD's coming back for the Nets, so it doesn't matter. Everyone's talking about how the Nets are like 7th right now, but they don't have KD. So it's going to be okay.
And they still only have Kyrie part-time.
That's about to get lifted though, potentially, which will be crazy.
With the mayor's lifting
that team
vaccine mandate. I mean, they'd be a good team. It's just like their team also is plagued with injuries and health things all across the board. Yeah, just
Also, it makes me so happy the Lakers are ass.
Me too, honestly.
So happy. And hopefully LeBron not being in the playoffs makes me even more happy as a Celtics fan.
If you're watching this and you're a Lakers fan, you're never going to pass us in championships. I just want you to know.
We're tied right now, so they just tied us from the bubble, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Lemicky got his ring. Got that bubble ring that doesn't count.
Yeah.
God, yeah, I fucking hate the Lakers. And everybody and their mother is blaming Russell Westbrook for the downfall of the Lakers. Everyone and their mama.
honestly, it's mainly Anthony Davis not stepping the fuck up and hooping like he should be or being healthy like he should be.
I want to put it on the both of them. I definitely want to put it on Russ and Anthony Davis because it kind of seems like,
you know what? It's
Russ
LeBron's fault. It's LeBron's fault. And that's all I gotta say.
You, LeBron.
That's all I gotta say.
It's your fault, LeBron. Fuck you, dude.
It is. It is.
Just because you're a GOAT doesn't mean you can carry the league.
And then the James Harden debut, which was really good.
I mean, did he drop?
He dropped like 20 something, 30 something. I think he's triple double too. I can't remember. But my thing is against the Timberwolves. Who cares?
Did they have Karl-Anthony Towns? He's actually been pretty. He's been healthy this whole season.
Yeah, but no one else though. I'm pretty sure. So
who? I think weren't they trying to the Minnesota Timberwolves? They're trying to rebuild around Karl. They're trying to rebuild around Cat, aren't they?
I mean they've been trying that for a few years now.
Yeah, I guess just nobody wants to go and play in Minnesota, honestly.
Anthony Edwards too hot and cold.
Yeah. Oh, Anthony Edwards. I did forget about Anthony Edwards,
I have
actually.
a basketball question for you. Got brought up on the Through the Wire pod I was listening to. Would you rather have prime De'Aaron Fox or prime D'Angelo Russell?
Prime D'Angelo Russell.
Correct answer.
Yeah.
He's a playoff winner.
Yeah, he's a clutch player, actually, prime D'Angelo Russell.
And honestly, De'Aaron's not that good anymore. Like, everyone knows what he can do, and he can.
He can hoop.
Dunk the ball.
He can hoop for sure, but exactly. He's just right now. He's like what Russ was at OKC. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like he has all these feats of athleticism, which is nothing to laugh at. It's fucking insane. That he can
make it translate.
Yeah, you got to make it translate. But it's insane he can run that 95 feet in 3 seconds. Mm-hmm. Like that's insane. His inside and playmaking game is really good. For being a smaller guard, his defense isn't terrible. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. But it's
just a shooter's league now.
His mid range is like meh, and then his 3-point is almost non-existent. And Sacramento, the only like 3 shooters they have is Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes still plays that team, right? Yeah, so they got Harrison Barnes. Yeah, and then they traded away Buddy Hield. They traded away
Tyrese. Those are 3 best shooters.
Tyrese Halliburton. Yep.
Well, they still have Harrison Barnes, but
yeah,
they got Sabonis. Yeah, dude, that'll really clear up the floor for De'Aaron Fox.
So you got Sabonis and Harrison Barnes, 2 stretch 3/4s who are probably gonna camp corners. So it'll.
I was gonna say, Sabonis might run the 5, but they have Rashawn Holmes, and I would only play Rashawn at the 5.
At the 5, yeah.
Anywhere else?
No. Yeah, it's the Kings. They're interesting. I don't know. Their GM, their GM and ownership. It's like, it's like what they're kind of just a sinking. How do I want to say it? They're like they're like a sinking ship. Yeah.
They literally traded a cornerstone player for Sabonis to get playoff wins to get into the play-in, and they've lost 4 straight.
Yeah, like how Sabonis was single-handedly going to solve every single one of their problems.
Honestly, if Therese was on the market, why wouldn't you try and go get a high price for him? Like, get a veteran player.
Like, why Sabonis of all players? Sabonis, I don't think he's even left the first round of the playoffs. What does he know about playoff wins?
Has he ever been to the Indiana has been to
the
playoffs with him there.
I think I'm pretty positive he's been to one playoff.
I'm sure they've been swept every time.
Yeah. Too. Like, it's what does he know about what the fuck does he know about playoff wins? And then they still have a young core. The only true vet they have is Harrison Barnes.
They had Tristan Thompson for a little bit.
Who was released.
And he got bought out. Okay, he got bought out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he plays for Chicago now.
Yeah.
You see him airball that free throw?
Yeah,
dude, that was hilarious.
All right, y'all. I think with that, we're probably gonna wrap up the podcast here. I hope everybody has a good day, good afternoon, or a good night.
Yeah, whatever time of the day you're watching this.
Yeah.
If you're at work, we hope you have a good shift.
Yeah. And punch your manager in the face. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, punch him in the face on us.
Yeah.
Tell him we sent you. Yeah, on me. I'll take it.
There we go. All right, y'all.
Thanks for watching. See ya.
Deuces.